Welcome to another exciting episode from Marvelous Videos. I'm your host, Tia Ayer. Dana Dearden, aka Obsession, the insane and obsessive lover of Superman explored. Many women have fawned over Superman over the years. I mean, what's not to like about the handsome superhero? But one woman took it too far. This video is about Dana Dearden, a Superman fan with psychotic tendencies who wanted Superman to fall in love with her and live happily ever after. Things may have been majorly creepy at times because of her shenanigans and mannerisms. Just imagine a fangirl who calls herself Superman's wife. Crazy, right? Well, to make matters worse, she also has superpowers herself. Intrigued? Keep watching to know all about how this creepy Superman stalker made life tough for the Man of Steel. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin. Exploring the origins of Obsession. What turned her into a crazy psychopath? Dana Dearden was a woman who worked for GBS, the world's leading telecommunications company. She appears in The Adventures of Superman 1987, issue number 534, and meets Jimmy Olsen for the first time when he joins the same news network as an anchor. All Superman fans will know that along with Clark Kent and Lois Lane, Jimmy Olsen works as a photographer and reporter for the Daily Planet in Metropolis under the direction of head editor Perry White. He is well known for being Superman's close friend, and he possesses a signal watch that he may use to call for assistance at any time. This signal watch will become super important as the story progresses. It turns out that Dana knew about Jimmy and Superman's close friendship and thus asked Jimmy out in a bid to meet the man of her dreams, Superman. Poor Jimmy did not know better, and upon being asked out by an attractive woman, immediately became smitten with her. Little did he know Dana had an extremely unhealthy obsession with Superman, so much so that she would go to insane lengths to get closer to him, disregarding and discarding anyone and everyone who got in her way. Unbeknownst to Jimmy, he became a pawn in her twisted game. In this issue, we also see them hang out and go on dates. They shop together and seem like quite the cute couple. However, on occasion, her psychotic side would make an appearance. During those times, her obsession with Superman would rise to the surface, and she would try to mold Jimmy into a version of the man of her dreams, such as making him wear blue underwear and growing his hair long. Yes, absolutely unhinged and weird behavior. But I guess when you're pretty, you can get away with it. Jimmy was way too smitten to ever see all the red flags that stuck out of Dana Dearden. One of their first dates was at the Metropolis Museum of Art, where there was a display of ancient coins purported to confer superpowers on the owner, and good old Dana had her eyes on them. However, others wanted to get a hold of the coins, and after coming up with a good diversion for Superman, Scavenger, a deep-sea pirate, attacked the museum with the intention of stealing the coins. But the Alpha Centurion, a powerful Roman superhero, arrived at the scene to save the day and successfully prevented Scavenger from taking the coins. However, in the commotion, Dana quietly pocketed the ancient artifacts without anyone noticing. We see the extent of her obsession with Superman when Jimmy takes her as his date to a prestigious Mars mission testimonial. However, Dana went along with Jimmy because she wanted to get introduced to Superman. Jimmy had promised her that he would introduce her to his friend and even said that he could take her backstage to meet the Man of Steel. The prospect of the family meeting Superman gets her extremely excited, and she waits anxiously for the love of her life to take the stage. It turns out that Superman had been invited to deliver a keynote speech, but unfortunately at the very last moment, he does not show up. The announcer says that Superman had to go somewhere due to an emergency, and the Alpha Centurion takes his place to deliver the keynote address. This leads to Dana getting extremely pissed off, and she directs her anger at Jimmy. She berates him, calling him useless, and then quits her job and leaves poor Olsen high and dry. At the same time, we see that Superman and Lois's engagement is called off by Lois, leaving Superman heartbroken. He is extremely upset about it and continues to pine over her, taking out his anger, frustration, and sadness on various objects. Little does he know love is just around the corner for him, just not from the woman that he wants. Dana storms out from the event venue, vowing to do whatever it takes for her to be able to finally be united with Superman. And well, she succeeds, but at what costs? Her crazy actions and subsequent fall from grace. After their rough breakup at the event, Jimmy never thought that he would see Dana again. However, Dana invited Jimmy over when she learned how to use her new abilities. Remember the coins that she quietly pocketed? Well, those coins gave her superpowers, and once she learned how to use them, she was confident that she and Superman would be a perfect match made in heaven. So much so that she dubbed herself Mrs. Superman. An unsuspecting Jimmy showed up to meet Dana and quickly realized that things were about to go extremely wrong as she began berating him once again for being useless and not being able to make her meet Superman. She then trashed him to try and get information from him. Jimmy asked her to rob a bank because that would most likely get Superman's attention, but in the end, she beat him up so badly that he handed over his signal watch to her, the watch whose signal called Superman whenever Jimmy was in need of help. Dana, overjoyed to hear about the existence of the signal watch, she quickly rushed to the safe deposit box where Jimmy had kept it. Upon retrieving it, she called Superman to her apartment with the help of the watch, anxiously waiting to finally meet the man that she had loved. In preparation to meet her beloved, she donned a specially crafted superhero outfit, a green and violet supersuit with Superwoman written on one of the legs. Dana also built a sort of shrine filled with newspaper cuttings of Superman and his heroic deeds. Upon noticing the signal from Jimmy's watch, Superman rushed over to help his friend, and when he reached, he discovered that he had been lured by a crazy woman using his friend's watch. Jimmy was nowhere to be found because he had managed to escape when Dana had left to fetch the signal watch. Thus, Dana and Superman faced each other. She told him that she was Superwoman, or better yet, Mrs. Superman, and she wanted him to love her as much as she loved him. However, a heartbroken Superman was not big on love at the moment and immediately lashed out at her, calling her insane. Even though Dana tried her very best to convince him that she was the one for him and that they were a match made in heaven, Superman was unmoved. He even said that there was no way that he would ever be with the person who stole ancient relics for power. Her pleading went in vain, and he did not even give in when Dana admitted that she had dated Jimmy only so that she could get close to Superman. Finally, in what seemed like a moment of reconciliation, Superman pulled her into a hug, only to tell her that he would have to take her in for theft. Dana, however, was not one to give up. Superman's rejection angered her, and she struck him out in rage when he turned down her advances. She used all of her powers to rain punches and blows down on Superman. It is undeniable that she was strong, and one blow landed harder than the others, sending him flying into the harbor. The Man of Steel came plummeting down and crashed into a tanker, igniting it. With the tanker in flames, Superman was now enraged, and he rushed to help the crew that was working on the tanker. However, in a pleasant turn of events, Dana also assisted Superman in saving the crew when the tanker caught fire. In what seemed to be an enemies to lovers arc, they worked together, as Dana used her vision powers to locate and rescue stuck personnel. However, unfortunately, the tanker blew up just as Superman carried the men to safety. Dana was nowhere to be found at the end of the incident, and the legacy that she left behind was an unfortunate one. She was dubbed as Obsession by Jimmy that evening on the news, a small-time villain who was psychotically obsessed with the Man of Steel and nothing else. However, that was not the last time fans would come across Obsession. Following the final night, Superman quickly became an energy being. After that, he was divided into Superman Blue and Superman Red. To figure out how they would regenerate, the two Supermen proceeded to the Fortress of Solitude. There they encountered Obsession, or Dana, once again. She explained to them that the tanker explosion temporarily rendered her memoryless, but she was able to restore it and follow Superman to the Antarctic on a previous journey there. After that, she entered and waited for him. She told him the tale, but Maxima still desired Superman as a consort, and she arrived. Dana was willing to share. She contacted Red, but Maxima wasn't interested. The two women fought until Maxima used telepathy to implant the idea that she had slain Superman in Dana's head. Dana then left the fortress in a rage. Obsession further reappeared a long time later in a brand new outfit. She appeared shortly after news broke that Superman had been wearing a wedding ring. Many observers mistakenly thought Obsession was Mrs. Superman when she appeared in a Superman-inspired suit. Dana assaulted Superman out of rage at his two-timing in true insane fashion. Later, when some criminals attacked a tiny store while high on DMN, Superman had to bring her back to reality with her delusions. Dana reportedly perished while assisting him in defeating the humans who had transformed into demons. Quite romantic in a twisted and tragic way, as she suddenly saw an evil figure claiming her, taking her to hell. In the end, she died helping the man she loved and lived for. Harlequin also enlisted the recently murdered Dana into her gang while she was still in hell. Obsession suffered a satanic bullet wound, which diminished her strength, but still, she gave her life to defend the others from the Cerberus. What makes her so dangerous? She gained her powers via the ancient coins that she managed to steal. They bestowed upon her 4 types of powers. The first one was the speed of the Greek god Mercury, which allowed her to swiftly go from one place to another, dodge attacks and blows, to use her speed to attack others. Her second acquired gift was the abilities of Heimdall, a god from the Norse mythology. He is said to have the power of foresight and excellent senses, notably hearing and sight. Hence, the powers that Dana gained were also the same of nature, giving her enhanced senses and keen hearing, which aided her immensely in battle. She also gained the powers of Zeus, the king of gods as far as Greek mythology is concerned. It is unknown if she gained Zeus's powers of weather control, but she did definitely gain his power aura and the ability to fly as she struggled with Superman in an aerial battle. Last but not least, she also gained the strength of Hercules, who is widely known for his strength and his numerous epic adventures in classic mythology. Hence, she became super powerful. She probably could have been even stronger if she had managed to get some help with her training and learn to use and have control over her newly acquired powers. However, her powers are not the only reason she is quite deadly. What makes her dangerous is her obsession with Superman. You could call it fatal attraction. Her obsession was evident in the creepy shrine that she made for Superman and how relentlessly that she had stalked him, harming innocent people like Jimmy in the process. Usually, when fans become this obsessed with their idols, the most that they do is stalk them online. But sometimes they also show up at their houses. Many celebrities will testify to this, and this is what makes her so dangerous. Her psychotic tendencies and unhealthy obsession are what led her down the spiral, ultimately ending up dead, all in the effort of protecting Superman. In the end, her legacy remains as a woman who was obsessed with the Man of Steel. Even though she was attractive and successful, she let it all go to pursue Superman. What do you think about Dana Dearden? Let us know in the comments section below. And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave us a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks, everyone.